Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and this may very well be the finale. In fact, unless it gets so super long for whatever reason, I'm just going to call it right now. It might be a long episode, but this is the finale. So last time when we were in Ganon's castle, we took care of all his nonsense to get in here, and now it's like the last, well, it's the failing against Keese episode, apparently. And oh my god, that's all just a series of awful right there, so all of you are gonna go as punishment. Or two of you will. I don't know. It's the last episode. I want to fight Ganon. So one thing I always really liked in Ganon's castle here for Ocarina of Time is you hear like this increasing, oops, you know what? I was a little too gun happy. I forgot. We have something else to do outside before before going on for 100%ing. Or I don't know, it might be an interesting challenge not to do it, but we have that great fairy to do still. Whoopsie. Whoopsie doopsie. Oh man, I was a little too trigger happy there. So anyway, with the I can't stop laughing. With the golden gauntlets we got, we have one more super heavy black rock we can pick up, and it's actually right near where the first Great Fairy fountain from Hyrule Castle was. And that's over here, and we get a pretty good prize from her. We get double defense, basically, so you'll take half the damage that you normally would from enemies, which, you know, does help for the final battle, but I don't know if it's needed or not. I don't know, I always get it. I should try this the next time I play Ocarina of Time, which might be later today if I do decide to go with the Master Quest, as I was saying. If you're just tuning in for the finale or whatever, I'm not doing Master Quest next on the channel. It's just, you know, I kind of don't want to stop playing Ocarina of Time, and I think I just might play through the game again on my own time. But here's our last Great Fairy Fountain, so let's get that Ocarina out and get our last prize. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to think about, too, but you could also think about it as Link essentially having 40 hearts, which is nuts. I thought it was nuts just having 30 hearts in Breath of the Wild. And I think I mentioned this before, but that always kind of bugged me, because it's like, I have a hard time visually, like at a glance, figuring out how many hearts I had if it's going too long. So like after 7, I always feel like I have like a hard time, like my eyes start to like blur a little bit when I'm trying to count the hearts to see how many I have. That's why I like when you start the second row, because I can basically just say, like, okay, I have 3 hearts on the bottom row, so that means I have 13. And if I go too far, I can be like, oh, well, there's like, say if I like realistically have 17 hearts, then I'll be like, oh, well, the extra 3 up top means that I have 20 minus 3, which is 17. That might sound weird. I've always had a difficult time explaining how I process numbers and stuff like that in my head. You ever have any of those like times where someone asks you, how do you know all this? How do you figure that out? And like the process in your head is so simple, but trying to explain it is so weird. I feel like that happens to me a lot at work when I'm just doing numbers in my head, like estimates and stuff like that. But anyway, so we get these nice white border around our hearts to show we have that. It's basically the equivalent of like the red mail from Link to the Past. But now we can go and take care of Ganon. Jeez, man, I can't believe I almost went through this totally legit 100% Ocarina of Time playthrough and didn't get my double defense. And I say totally legit because I totally did get that Deku Nut upgrade. Right? Right? I'm not using clever editing at all to show that I have 40 Deku Nuts instead of 30 because whatever reason the damn forest stage would not give me my other Deku Nut upgrade. Luckily, we don't have to take care of the other Dinalfos that were in here. I always thought it was, like, funny how they had, like, an upgraded version of the Lizalfos for Adult Link. It's like, what's an evolved form of a lizard? It's a dinosaur. Oh no, it's Stalfos. What do we do? Well, we just do what we normally do. We stab, we stab, we stab, we stab. And get lucky and break their shield, or break through their shield, I should say. Yeah, I got double defense and 20 hearts, buddy. You're no threat to me. I love how they give you a boss key for Ganon's castle, even though it's like the most linear thing in the game. Which isn't a bad thing, mind you. I feel like the term linear has become very negative around YouTube lately. Being linear doesn't necessarily mean something's bad, you know. It's fun to have the options to do several things, but, like, I'm not gonna have a problem. I have to play level 1, then level 2, then level 3. Now, guys, the Iron Knuckles here. You all know how much trouble Iron Knuckles have given me, so you'll want to be sure to only hit one at once, and not activate them at the same time! Oh no, how are we gonna make it out of this mess? Well, I was supposed to be a little more clever than that. Like that. As you can see, even with the double defense, they still hit pretty hard. I wanted those hearts, jackass. You know what? Can we ice arrow them? We probably can't. They're probably, like, immune, yeah. Well, I had to try. Well, that definitely played out a lot more smoother and cooler and totally with shades in my head, but oh well, whatever. But as I was saying earlier, I love how this organ just keeps getting louder and louder as you're ascending Ganon's tower. It's so cool. Definitely builds up, you know, your fight with Ganon. This is actually part of the final boss room, too. You may not want to break all these pots right away, because you may need them for supplies, but since I got my potions, not too worried about that. Kind of would have liked more hearts, but whatever. So up there, you can climb this actually. If you fall down from up there, you can climb back up, but try not to fall down, because as soon as you do, Ganondorf is probably going to punch the ground for a shockwave, and he might even knock you back in. Alright, we're here, guys. He laid out the red carpet for us. I like to imagine he literally did, just to, like, taunt Link. Oh no. It's a gigantic room with nothing but an organ and a crystallized girl. How you doing, Zelda? Is he feeding you? Oh no, our temporary tattoo is glowing. Oh no, Zelda's temporary tattoo is glowing. And Ganondorf's hair got like... Oh, I forgot. All my hearts were refilled anyway. Ganon's hair grew a lot since the last time we saw him. I feel like I never hear anybody talk about this, but Ganondorf does look older too, or at least he grew his hair out, you know? The two Triforce parts that I could not capture on that day 7 years ago. I didn't expect they would be hidden within you two. Love how he flips his cape back as he faces you. And now, finally, all the Triforce parts have gathered here! These toys are too much for you. I command you to return them to me! Oh no! Link, I can't help you! Because of the waves of darkness, I can't get close! I'm sorry, Link! Oh no. He finds that funny and he's laughing at us. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get the hell out of there because he's going to pound that ground and get all that stuff out. So, I hope you all liked the Phantom Ganon fight because that's what this is. Okay, whoops. Well, at least we know ice arrows don't freeze Ganon. So, alright, doesn't matter. So basically, the gist of this fight is, you play energy tennis with him, he gets stunned, you get hit if you're bad. And when he's stunned, you use the light arrows, he falls down, and then you can start attacking him. You can't Z-target him because of the waves of darkness, or whatever shit Navi is using as an excuse. Whoops, I thought that got him. Yeah, he's so easy, isn't he? You're doing such a good job at him. But I do legit think this is a lot easier than Phantom Ganon. Phantom Ganon, I feel his energy spheres are a little more erratic than Ganondorf's. Ganondorf's feel like they go in a much straighter line, and he gives you more time to react to them too. So I'm using the big Goron sword here because it's equipped and I don't feel like putting the Master Sword on. But, you know, anything, you know, any sword will work. You can even use an empty bottle if you want to, for whatever reason. You were right, Chicken Lady. It is fine glass. It's so fine that it reflects Ganondorf's attacks back at him. But as you can imagine, this fight can get a little old for some people if you're not a fan of the energy tennis thing, because isn't this fun? Bouncing the ball back and forth until Ganondorf almost randomly decides he wants to, you know, get attacked by it. Another cool thing is Cape will become more and more tatters as the fight progresses too. You can even see him getting some holes there. Alright, so when he does this, you can do one of two things, and I'll show you this first way too, because, I don't know, it is a little more epic. You can do a spin attack and reflect all of them back at him, and then miss your light arrow. Or, while he's charging that up, just shoot a light arrow at him. That's the way I always did it as a kid, because that's what my Prima guide said to do. But every Let's Play I've seen always tries to do the spin attack to reflect them back. And I didn't even know you could reflect them back. I thought that's the whole point of why the guide was saying to do the light arrow when I was doing it. Because I thought, you know, you just couldn't, like, hit them back with your sword. I think I even tried hitting them back with my sword, but I don't think you can do it one by one. You gotta hit them all back at them. But I do find it just so much easier just to attack him with light arrows while he's charging it. And that's Ganondorf. And that went faster than normal because I had the big Goron sword, but, you know, whatever. The great evil King Ganondorf beating this kid. Link! At least he knew my name. He gets so mad, he explodes. Or tries to. He breaks all of his beautiful stained glass that he probably paid like 1,000,000 rupees for to have installed. Or, well, he's the king of evil. I'm sure he magically made it happen. And then he falls down, and his cape falls through his body. But it's okay, because we saved Zelda. Sort of. Ganondorf, pitiful man. Without a strong, righteous mind, he could not control the power of the gods. And Link, listen to me. This tower will collapse soon. With his last breath, Ganondorf is trying to crush us in the ruins of the tower. We need to hurry and escape. Please follow me. Then she, like, walks in her dress. Alright, so this part, it's gonna seem like 3 minutes to get out of this castle. Are you nuts? But it's fine. You'll be fine. Stick close to Zelda. If you're too far away, she might just stand there and wait for you to catch up. Try not to get crushed by these falling rocks either, because when you get hurt, Zelda will be like, "Oh my god, Link, are you okay?" and like gasp and freeze in place. You know, kind of like what just happened during the cutscene, except it was a cutscene, so it didn't even matter. I do like how you are kind of, yeah, like that. How you're kind of like going through Ganon's tower again, but through an alternate way to escape. You may have seen like a bridge that was going above the water section, and that's actually what we're going to exit on, I believe. But don't worry about missing anything. There's no treasures on here or anything. It's all okay. Man, though. I can't believe this Let's Play is almost over. It's crazy. I feel like I just started it, and I don't know. It's sad. It's sad and it's happy, because like I said, I have been wanting to do this in the back of my head for a very long time, even when I was not doing Let's Plays and had no interest in doing them. And now that I've finally done it, it's like... Even when I decided to do it this time, I was wondering... Is it gonna be what I wanted it to be? You know, when it comes to Ocarina of Time, there's so many stories, so many things I want to say about it. Could I cover them all in the Let's Play? And I don't know, I certainly feel like I covered quite a bit. You know, I talked about Odyssey of Hyrule a lot, I talked about middle school memories with this game a lot. Oh man, that Gina story! I loved it so much. I wish I was more awake in that video, so it could have been funnier. I didn't really mean to, like... If it came off as, like, super cringy... I mean, it was supposed to be funny cringy, but, like, if it came off as, like, super awkward, I didn't mean for it to come off as super awkward. It was just, like, I do laugh about it nowadays. It's just, you know... man, Gina. Gina, middle school in general. I cannot not think of middle school when I play this game. But man, at the same time, I feel like there's still like just so many things I wish I could talk about. Oh, I gotta do those bonus episodes too, I forgot. I wanted to make a couple of bonus episodes where one, I go and talk to some people with the other Happy Masks that aren't really much of a point for anything, and I wanted to do one where I did that get inside the castle glitch, or underneath the castle or whatever. The one where I walk up the wall, but I don't know, I gotta do that and practice at it and get better at it. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, because every time I've tried since I was a kid, I haven't been able to do it again. So I guess depending on like what's coming after this in the playlist, I'll either have done it or not. But I think I'm gonna make an honest to God try for it. I can't get to that Odyssey of Hyrule site anymore. It's like down or whatever, and I don't know. I have a bunch of pages printed from that website somewhere, and I think I know where they are, so I might try to go and find them to see if I can find any more detailed things about it. It's nothing really, it's just like, you know, I mean, this has been such a personal Let's Play for me. I feel like it's only appropriate to, like, try to recreate this glitch that I did a lot as a kid that I found really fascinating, you know? But that's it, we're out of Ganon's Castle. And it's all just gonna crumble down to nothing. It'll sink into the ground. Ever so perfectly. Almost like it's creating some kind of an arena to have a rematch with Ganon in. Oh, and then there's the Hylian Loach, too. I've never even actually gotten the Hylian Loach. I might try that, like, on my own time. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of these bonus episodes I have in mind might be, like, post-game or post-commentary ones. It's over. It's finally over. Link, I'm sorry I couldn't help you in the battle before. It's okay, Navi. What's that? It can't be Ganondorf. He collapsed with his castle. What is that sound? I don't know. How did we get back home? Everything's gone. Oh, well, I guess you can sort of see the bridge there. That's interesting. I remember Odyssey of Hyrule also said, you know, there was a glitch you can do where you can basically watch the fight from Zelda's eyes as well. I forget exactly how you did it, and I never really tried it myself, but I remember somewhat hearing, you know, maybe that was a remainder from like a 2-player option. Oh, I'm sorry, Ganondorf, are you back? I love how he like holds his fist up even as he's like breathing. It's like he just does not want to give up. And this is the birth of Ganon. The pig form that he takes in a lot of the other games. Only in this game, he actually does look pretty badass and terrifying instead of just like a cartoonish pig monster from He-Man or whatever. But uh-oh, we don't have the Master Sword. We weren't using it before, but there's no way he's going to hold me back again. This time we fight together. Okay. So you'll have 2 actual spots you can target onto depending on where you are. The head, and then if you circle around back enough, you can also get the tail. So do whatever you want. You can use Megaton Hammer, people like to do. Big Goron Sword, people like to do. I don't really feel like targeting or opening up the pause menu for the Big Goron Sword. And you can roll through his legs even and hit the tail. The point is, you want to hit the tail. You want to hit the tail enough until he's stunned, and then he can, you know, get the Master Sword back. Whoop. Well, come on now. You may not want a Z target. You may want to just like literally roll through his legs, and there you go. I heard something interesting lately, that the damage value for every weapon in this game goes to 1, except for the Master Sword. So that always kind of I gotta say, I always thought in situations where I haven't always thought that. I just found it out, so why am I saying I always thought this and that about the damage values of weapons against Ganon in the final battle? But I guess my point is, I guess it doesn't really matter if you do a jump attack or not. I think you gotta hit him the same amount of times no matter what you decide to use. But either way, even though it's not the most powerful weapon in the game, I do think it's appropriate to finish off Ganon with the Master Sword. Let's go over, pick it up, do a weird little slice in the air, talk to Zelda, use the Master Sword, destroy Ganon with the Sacred Sword. Get back in there and mess him up! Get up, Ganon! So he's faster this time. You're not going to be able to pull off the rolling between the legs thing as easily. Although, I don't know, maybe you will. You can also shoot his face with light arrows to stun him as well if you want. I don't know, once he's locked into a swing, has to carry it out, so, you know, whatever. He's not really turning around. He usually turns around faster than that, but whatever. I gotta say, though, I love this music. This music is, like, perfect for this final battle, I feel like. Like, it's foreboding, it's menacing, it's a lot of things, but it's also very melancholy too. I don't know. It feels urgent without having like too much of an urgency about it. There are a lot of final battles in games where the music just sounds very like final battle-ish, if that makes sense. And I don't know. I feel like it tries being more epic than, you know, a good piece of music, but this one here, I think, is both epic and a good piece of music. And I'm not one to say epic all too often, but that's just how I feel about this particular part of the soundtrack. I'm using my power to hold the evil king. Use your sword and deliver the final blow. And it's all she has. Now she's gotta take her breath. Master Sword glows. It's ready. It's ready to take Ganon's life. So go up and deliver the last... Oh! And miss! The last shot! And miss! And I love how you stab and there's this, like, still moment. And then he just, like, gets up and just starts, like, flailing around like a video game boss about to die. It's, like, all that nice, legit epicness. And then he just, like, gets up and acts like such a goof. He's like... It's like, imagine, like, stubbing your toe, and there's, like, this silence, and then you, like, cartoonishly grab your foot and, like, start hopping up and down, and you're like... And it hurts so much. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking over your dialogue. Alright, now Zelda's plan. All you come together. Oh, sorry, You... Curse you, Zelda. Curse you, sages. Curse you, Link. Someday, when this seal is broken, so mad, look at him. That is when I will exterminate your descendants! It's like, geez, that is a hate boner if I ever saw one. As long as the Triforce of Power is in my hand. Yeah, so that's a nice little allude to this being the first game in the timeline at the time. And maybe showing that, you know, these aren't always the same Links and Zeldas in the series. Hi, Zelda. Thank you, Link. Thanks to you, Ganondorf has been sealed inside the evil realm. Thought it was the sacred realm. Thus, peace will once again reign in this world. For a time. So sorry. All the tragedy that has befallen Hyrule was my doing. I was so young. I could not comprehend the consequences of trying to control the sacred realm. And that's one thing I always liked about Ocarina of Time. It was just two dumb kids trying to be heroes. I dragged you into it too. Now it is time for me to make up for my mistakes. You must lay the Master Sword to rest and close the door of time. However, by doing this, the road between times will be closed. So, let's have sex just this once, just to say we did it. No. Give the ocarina to me. As a sage, I can return you to your original time with it. Does that mean Saria could, too? And Darunia and all them? Oh, hold my hand. Actually, when I said about the sex, I really meant it. Alright, good night everybody. You know Nintendo can't show that. No, just kidding. It will be time for us to say goodbye. It's weird. I feel like the sadness for the scene, even though Link and Zelda barely knew each other at all. Now, go home, Link. Regain your lost time. I guess since Zelda, you know, watched over Link as Sheik, she got to know him better, but whatever. Home, where you are supposed to be. The way you are supposed to be. Man, that line right there. I think about that line a lot. Ever wish you can just go back to a time in your life that, honest to God, feels like home? I really like this quiet ocarina part that she plays. Thank you, Link. Goodbye. Goodbyes are always tearful. And this credits music is so incredible that I don't even want to talk over it, but I'm going to. One last stupid, cringy middle school story. So, when I played this game for the first time, and it like, changed my life or whatever, because I had never played anything like it before, and it was serious, and it was awesome, and whatever. When I got that Ocarina of Time soundtrack, I think the ending credits music was like something like 7.5 minutes. So, the second to last day of school, I made a mental note where 7.5 minutes would be from my bus stop, and then on the actual last day of school for that year, I played the ending credits song on my CD player as like the final goodbye to that school year or whatever. And so it ended with me arriving at home. It was so perfect. Oh man, I had to get one last cringy story in there, but in all seriousness, I always did like the ending credits. I liked how you saw each area again and from different angles, and it's this nice piece of music accompanying it. I always kind of like, I don't know, I'm always more of a fan of like landscapes and architecture by themselves without people around too much. I guess that's just kind of how I am. So, you know, seeing something like this, you know, it makes me like wonder, like, if I had an actual ending, you know, to my own life, what scenes would I put in, like a credits reel like this, for example? You know, what places would I do? And it makes me think about, like, the interesting shots it would have without people there. Would people normally would have been there a lot, like, say, like, schools and stuff, if it was, like, just going down the hallways, but, like, without anybody there. Or work without anybody there, you know? I don't know, there's just, there's just something always really interesting to me about getting all these different perspectives of rooms and places and things like that when you don't have, like, the interference of the rest of the world. I guess that's, like, one of the reasons why I like that Boundary Bake show, because you do get to see the different perspectives of that and everything, but if you're wondering where all the people are, well, they're all partying, because Ganondorf's dead. And you have this nice circle of flames here. I'm pretty sure these are all supposed to be like the Poe fire flames, but without the Poe spirits in them. And everybody's here. Gorons are here, Zoras are here. Talon and Ingo so drunk and happy together. Even the Kokiri are here. I guess they always could have left the forest. That was one thing I was never really sure of, if, like, they would actually die if they left the forest, or if the Deku Tree told them that to, you know, keep them in the forest, or maybe it meant it, like, less literally, like, well, because the encyclopedia said the Kokiri will age if they leave the forest, and they'll die that way, but they're kind of trapped in eternal youth while in the forest. So, man, I'm looking forward to reading that, too, later today. And look at all the carpenters now. There's like twice as many. And oh, there she is. So beautiful. I mean, what? All the shop owners, or not all of them, but Chicken Lady, Anju, whatever you want to call her. I'm never comfortable calling her Anju, because it's like, it's not Anju. Anju is from Majora's Mask. They just never had a name for her, and they had a name for Majora's Mask, so it's convenient there, but it's, oh no. It's sad. These two aren't having fun, and I always thought this was, I don't know, a little real for me as a kid, where it's like, well, yeah, the world's saved, but our loved ones are gone forever. Because, you know, they were never together, but Mito did really like Saria and King Zora. I mean, he lost his daughter, and that's why they have the green and blue spheres up there. I forget where I was watching it, but like another playthrough I've seen of this lately from a virtual console reminded me to say, for whatever reason, and if someone has an answer to this, please let me know, because I cannot find one for the life of me. On Virtual Console, the music for this ending credits does not match the actual parts where it's supposed to. Like, there are different changes to, like, parts of the music, like, when, like, specific scenes show up. Like, right now, this part's ending, but it just cuts off midway through an earlier part in the song on Virtual Console, and that really bothers me a lot. And I don't know why it happens. I've tried looking it up, and I feel like I'm the only one that notices it, and it's like, I can't possibly be the only one that notices it. Someone else has to notice it, so if anyone has an answer for why that is, please, by all means, let me know, because I would really, really like to know. But we're home again. And we never took the Hylian shield off, so now we have that in the cutscene. Oh well. And Navi just leaves. No goodbye, no nothing. You could argue maybe Navi's too sad and that's why, but it is kind of weird. She just kind of abandons Link here. I love this last shot of the Master Sword. And I guess this is where the timeline officially splits. And it ends there. I guess it's, you know, up to you to decide what happens now, but I think it's kind of generally agreed upon. Link warns Zelda of the future events, a la Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. And that's where the Twilight Era timeline thing goes on from, I think. But anyway, boy, I don't know what else to say that I haven't said already. I mean, it's so good to say I finally did my Ocarina of Time Let's Play after all these years. I don't know how I liked how it turned out or not. I mean, I've enjoyed most of the videos so far when I've been editing them and rewatching them, but I don't know. It was, I think, the most fun Let's Play for me to do this far, and I think one of the reasons for that is because I did have such a personal attachment to this game. It's always going to be a game that means quite a lot to me, and whether or not you think Ocarina of Time is, you know, great or whatever, I mean, that's up for grabs, but both on a personal level and as an appreciator of older games and what they could do on the consoles they were on, I think Ocarina of Time is no less than fantastic. Could other games have done it better? Probably. It's kind of a moot point. It is an N64 game after all. I don't know why you're comparing it to things like Twilight Princess. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to my rambling ass go on about whatever in this Let's Play. Hell, just being there with me and reliving some wonderful memories I have with this game that I'm so glad I can still remember now. I don't know what the next game is going to be. Like I said earlier, it's going to be something shorter for sure. But a Majora's Mask Let's Play is definitely in the plans for the future, and hopefully this time I won't wait another 5 years to do it. But anyway, we're at 39 minutes now. I think it's gone on long enough. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. And I'd like to repeat, like I said in the first episode, if you have great Ocarina of Time memories, specific memories, not just this game was my childhood, but actual concrete memories or stories you could tell that you just maybe share with other Ocarina of Time fans why the game means so much to you, please, by all means, let us know in the comments. I'd really love to hear more conversations like that, rather than just Ocarina of Time is overrated, or this game was my childhood, or something we've all heard a million times before. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I will see you next time. This has been Some Type of Artist, and I'm signing out with Let's Play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Bye-bye.